Hello and welcome to the Codex Prime podcast. We are on episode 127 and it is Thursday, July 12th, 2018. I am your host, Victor Omoyo, and with me as always is my co-host and social media chair, Carl Bird.
What's good, y'all?
Yes, indeed. We are back from a 2-week hiatus. We took the week of the 4th of July off.
That shit felt like forever.
Yes, it did. But some much needed rest and relaxation. But we are back on the airwaves.
What the hell is that?
What?
Rest and relaxation?
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't know what that is.
I sure don't.
It's where you don't go to work and you can lay in bed and sleep proper hours. Yeah.
Sleeping proper hours is a thing?
It's still a thing in 2018, my friend.
I ain't know. 2018, was it a thing, period? I can't remember when the last time it was a thing. Like,
Yeah, it's still a thing. And get this, you can wake up at like 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning even, son. Yeah. Have time.
sleeping in until 9?
Yup. You can have time to make breakfast. Sit
Breakfast?
down.
You want to know what my breakfast is during the week?
Monster Energy drinks.
That and Pop-Tarts.
See,
The s'mores kind. As a matter of fact, shout out to my boy Hollows. I was helping him move, and he was just like, Vic got an afro.
Nah, man.
What up, Kyle? He was just like, yeah, he was helping us move. He went and bought Dunkin' for everybody. So and they was like, yo, Carl was a beast helping us move. Yeah, I'm tooting my home horn a little bit. And he was like, the only thing I got him, though, for breakfast was donuts and an energy drink. 2 chocolate frosties and an energy drink, and I'm good.
Yeah, you know it's funny because like me myself, I also can get through most of the day with just a light breakfast. Just give me a cup of OJ and like I don't know, like a granola bar, and I'll be good. Or like a banana or something, or a smoothie. Yeah, I'll be good till like.
Smoothies can be pretty heavy though. Depends on what you put in them, I guess.
Yeah, just give me something light, and I'll be good until like 2:30 in the afternoon. But yeah. We are back, and our topic for this week's episode, we'll be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp later on today, and some things that we've been up to, which is quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, you go first, because I'm in my sharing mood.
Yep, you're in your sharing
mode.
Yes.
Mood, whatever. I can't talk.
Yeah. As for me, myself and my girlfriend, we took a nice road trip to Rochester, New York.
Who drove?
I did.
The whole time?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
It was
not bad. It's what, 4 hours?
6.
That's still, that ain't nothing.
Yeah, it was a 6-hour drive. We drove there very smooth drive. Although I did get pulled over once.
Yeah. Where was this at?
It was in Schenectady, New York.
Wait, what's it called?
Schenectady.
How do you spell this? Because I'm looking this up.
I know it's a weird name. It's SCH.
Wait.
EN.
SCHEN.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there it is.
I found it.
I think it's Mickey Rourke's hometown, but I got pulled over because like I was driving from Providence and I went all the way through Mass. I was going like from 80 to 90 miles an hour on the highway.
That's normal.
Yeah, which is normal. And then all of a sudden, when I get to Schenectady, like I see flashing lights in my rear view, and I'm like, oh shit! I pull over, and the cop, who was nice enough. Thankfully, it didn't turn into an incident because you know how cops be with with a car full of 4 black people. You don't know how these things go.
She had it. Oh, yep. Okay, here's the numbers.
Yeah. So
24%.
So I got hit with
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
towns.
it is one of those towns, and I was told after the fact that it is one of those towns. In fact, so
The cop told you that?
No, one of Monet's aunts.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend's aunt. So she said that it is in fact one of those towns. It's no surprise you got a ticket.
A lot of people from there. Yeah, damn.
Yeah. So I'll be sending that in the mail, and and the only thing that makes me mad about the ticket is not so much the ticket itself, but the fact that my insurance will probably skyrocket as a result.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it is. You want my insurance?
What is your insurance?
It's a lot. Just leave it at that. Jimmy Carter's from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And B. Davis from the Brady Bunch.
But yeah, besides that, it was a really cool trip. And what was really cool about Rochester is that they have a lot of comic book stores, and I managed to go to two of them, and it was really cool because I picked up some goodies when I was there.
You know the name of it?
It was Comics Inc., I believe. Yeah, that was the first one that I went to, and I picked up some really good picks. I haven't had a chance to sit down and read them yet, but I will, because of my comic books reading list is like yay big.
Yeah, it is.
So the first one I got was a graphic novel I've been meaning to get, and I'm happy that I got it. It's Malika, Warrior Queen, and this is published by this independent studio called Unique Studios, and it's created by Roye Okupe, who's a Nigerian comic books author. And this is a pretty cool historical fantasy series. And this is part one, and there's a part two of the graphic novel series, which I will get once I finish this one. But the artwork is pretty dope, and the story looks pretty action-packed.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm like, you know what? I can really imagine this as an animated series or even a live-action movie if it's done well, done carefully. So yeah, I got this. I got the two newest editions of Lady Mechanika, La Dama De La Muerte, and Volume 4, The Clockwork Assassin. Lady Mechanika, if you're not familiar, it's created by Joe Benitez, and this has gorgeous artwork, steampunk heavy, fascinating main character. I would love to see a televised or film version of this at some point, because I think if you cast it carefully and have like the right director and writer behind it, you'd have something truly special with this. So yeah, I got Lady Mechanika, and I also got the first 3 issues of the Shadowman reboot from Valiant Comics. I read the first issue and it was really good, and I dig this because I remember playing Shadowman, the old N64 game, and it was like the old 90s version of Shadowman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then after that, there was like a 2012 reboot in the comics, and then right now this is a 2018 reboot. And this is a pretty popular series, so much so that it was a good thing that I got these 3 issues while I was in Rochester, because I've been going all around Providence and even Attleboro, and I could not find issue 4, which is out right now. Issue 4 and 5. Apparently it's so popular that I can't find Shadowman anywhere in stores in Rhode Island. And that's why I went to Rococo's earlier today. Shout out to Reagan. And I finally opened a box.
It's about time.
So
describe what a box is first.
So for those who are unfamiliar, a box at Rococo's is where you can actually subscribe to multiple comic series, and what Reagan will do is open up a box for you, and if you subscribe up to a certain number of titles, you'll get a nice discount. So like 5 titles will get you like a certain percentage off, like a 6 to 10 will get you another certain percentage off, like 15 to 20 titles will get you an even bigger discount. And I decided to subscribe to Shadowman, as well as a few other series coming down the pike. So that way I won't miss out on this series. But I read the first issue, and it's pretty tight. And it's really cool that we're seeing more and more black heroes and characters out there that are really awesome.
Now, was that a Reagan recommendation?
It was not, actually.
Really?
He did say that it was a pretty popular one, and it kind of flew off his shelf. So, yeah. But yeah, I really recommend this one just off the strength of issue 1 alone. Great tight artwork, was shaping up to be a pretty good story, and I can't wait to get into more of it. I also finally got Starboy, which is the Weekend's comic book, which you reviewed a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I will sit down and read this because, I was like, you know what? I'm curious. Who knew that the Weekend was a geek, a nerd? Well, nerd enough to be a comics head somewhat. I thought he just sung about cocaine. But, hey, hopefully Starboy will, be something else besides singing about cocaine metaphors. Maybe, you know what? That reminds me. Maybe The Weeknd should do a collaborative album with Pusha T. I think that's long overdue. But anyway.
Probably has happened before.
Yeah, maybe. I also got a few more comics here. Wakanda Forever.
Which I Should I just go ahead and review it?
Uh,
Well, no, because you haven't read it yet.
I have not read it yet.
Okay, so you know what? I'll hold off my review.
Yeah. Um, I flipped through it a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I like this concept, and I hear that there's going to be a different hero working with Adora Milaje every month.
That requires a spoiler, so I will have to shut up.
Yeah, so I won't say anything more.
Fuck my whole game up, man.
Hey, my bad. But yeah, you know what? I dig this. I'll check it out. I also got 2 more comics here. One is Bloodborne, based on the awesome From Software PS4 game and my 2015 Game of the Year. I was flipping through this, and you know what? I'm intrigued.
Let me see the art.
Yeah. The cover is black and white. I think it's a second edition, and the inside is a color artwork.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I'm intrigued by the story, and Bloodborne, like any From Software game, like Dark Souls, they're known for their obscure, vague form of storytelling where they give you just enough, but you don't really know the whole backstory unless you really dive deep into it by reading like item descriptions and like paying close attention to like certain details in the environment, but which makes it interesting to see how a Bloodborne comic book series would go about its storytelling. Would it be more straightforward than the game, or would it be just as obscure? But I'm intrigued by what it will.
Not bad. I'm looking through the art. Like I can just imagine. The art reminds me of Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, that's a good description.
I'm trying to find like who did the artwork.
Yeah, and
Assuming his name's Kowalski.
Yeah. I also got 4 more comics, which is sitting at my table over there.
So, yeah. Damn. You must have been... Okay, that was quicker than I thought.
Yeah. It disappeared. I also got... this was at Rococo's, actually. I got the first issue of Mr. Miracle, the 2017 reboot. And I think they're currently on issue 10 or 9. But I've heard universal praise for this series, and I was so intrigued that I was like, you know what? Let me just cop this first issue. And from what I hear, it's a pretty outstanding read and one of DC Comics' finest series. So off that recommendation, I'm like, you know what? I will sit down and read this and give a proper review perhaps next week, at least as far as the first issue goes. And last but not least, I went to another comic book store in Rochester, Pop Rock. And it's really cool because it's like a comic book store / cafe. So they also...
That's dope.
Yeah, so when you go in, there's like a shelf full of like the latest comics and some recent releases.
Yeah.
There's the actual like bar, if you will. They serve mocktails, which is like combined like fruit drinks. And they even have
that kind of watered it down. It's a dope concept.
Yeah.
But
they have cereal milkshakes. So what they do is they combine actual cereals with a bit of milk and some little bit of ice cream, a little bit of sugar, and then boom, there's your cereal milkshake. I got this it was an American something. And it was a combination of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Apple Jacks, caramel, whipped cream, and milk, and a bit of ice cream, vanilla ice cream. And it was delicious, my friend.
Using delicious.
That cereal milkshake was the bomb. And even though afterwards...
Okay, it's not the 90s. You could say something.
It was...
Say it was lit. Go ahead.
It was lit. It was all that in a bag of chips. But that cereal milkshake rocked my world. So much so that I dropped bombs on the toilet shortly after.
No, really? That's too much. That's too much. Too much.
But still, it was well worth it. It was well worth the assault on my gastrointestinal tract. But it was tasty.
We need to know all that.
Yeah, but I like to share with our viewers. And
yeah, but there's a limit.
And then, like in the back of the cafe, they had a TV with an NES Classic.
2 controllers or 1?
There was 2 controllers.
Damn, they lucked out.
Yeah. And so, well, what up, Furman? Thanks for joining us. No,
Yep.
you did not miss any wrestling talk.
Ain't really much going on right now,
Yeah.
so you're good.
Yeah. And last but not least, I picked up 4 comics from Pop Rock.
Them image first reprints.
Yes, Image First reprints. For those who don't know, it's reprints of first issues of famous Image comic series for only $1. So even the cheapest among you can get one of these. So I bought 4 of them. I got Descender, which I'm intrigued by. 7 to Eternity by Rick Remender. He's also the creator of Low.
Mm-hmm.
The first reprint of issue 1 of Spawn.
I got my Spawn #1.
You know, which
This dude said diabetes in a glass.
it is diabetes in a glass. Diabetes. Shout outs to Wilford Brimley.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And Invincible. And Invincible, I'm interested by this because friend of the show Yemi, Yemin M's.
Yeah, man.
Yep. As you
My
would-
nickname for her.
Yep.
Nobody else used that but me.
I think she's a big fan of this series, and she highly recommended this to me.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if Invincible is still in publication, if they're still producing new issues. But from reading the first issue, I'm like, you know what? I could get into more of this once I clear most of my current reading list.
Okay.
But yeah, all comicsed out. Traveled to Rochester and back, and I got a whole bunch of reading ahead of me. So
I need
yeah,
to take my ass to the secret stash in Jersey.
I really want to go there. That's another one on my bucket
That's
list.
on my bucket list too. So good.
Yeah. So how about you, man? What you got?
I'm only reviewing 3. Honestly, I've been on my comics tips. I've been reading a lot. So one of them happened to be Amazing Spider-Man: Wakanda Forever. But seeing that you haven't started reading it yet, I'll shut up on it.
Maybe you can drop a little hint, sprinkle, without spoilers, or nah.
I'd rather have you read it first, so we can. I'd rather discuss it together.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, so the first one I've written was not written. I wish it was Black Panther and the Crew. It was a trade paperback. And I highly recommend this one, especially to you.
Yeah.
It's written by I'm really becoming a fan of his work, my man Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Yep.
And Yona Harvey, art by Butch Juice. I'm probably saying this wrong, but yeah, it's very awesome read. It's basically it's about when Black Panther, Storm, Misty Knight, Luke Cage, and Manifold, they come together to take on a dangerous street-level threat after the death of a Harlem activist, and his death actually causes a social uproar in Harlem, and new secrets are revealed about the past in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's like Harlem actually had some ongoings back in the day, in the early days of the Marvel universe. Dating back to about the 50s and the 60s. So there was, obviously superheroes back then, and they were basically fighting the same causes as they are now.
Wow.
So it's basically how they're saying with all the shootings that have been going on by cops and everything that's been going on now. They're saying that history's repeating itself. This basically touches it. This is one reason why I became a fan of Ta-Nehisi Coates, is because yes, he made the stories fun, but it's socially conscious as well.
Yeah.
And his writing, it's just very well written. It's to the point where in some ways, especially A Nation Under Our Feet, you can actually feel it. You can actually feel how the people of Wakanda, they're very spiritual people, and he touches that in A Nation Under Our Feet. I definitely recommend that as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, check this one out. Another one that I came across, another trade paperback that I came across. Literally, it was only $1.99.
Wow, that's a great price.
So I was like, screw it, let me get it.
Yeah, which one
It
is
was
that?
Secret Invasions Frontline.
Okay.
Okay, it was written by Brian Reed and art by I wrote my notes in chicken scratch. So Marco Castiello,
Mhm.
forgive me if I mispronounce. So it's basically about when the Skrull warships invade New York City, and the heroes are actually battling for survival. It's basically during the Skrull invasion, the secret invasion.
Mm.
It's the story actually follows Ben Urich as he and other New York City citizens are trying to survive the attack and help each other as well. And not to mention Ben Urich, the whole time he's actually trying to report and tell the story
Mhm.
of the attack.
Okay.
So definitely interesting. It actually makes me want to read the scrolls. I actually heard that that's probably going to be like the next phase in Marvel movies that they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I heard something like that. Like they'll be
Yeah.
like the main villains or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something that I heard. So at first I got to read Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I definitely got to read that, which is like $25 everywhere.
Mhm.
So I want to read that, and then I'm actually going to get into Secret Invasion as well because that was an interesting concept. Like hearing something from not just the hero's point of view is what we as comic readers have grown accustomed to, but it's like you get it from pretty much an average Joe.
Yeah. That's an interesting way to approach a story like that.
Yeah, it's something completely different.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Marvels. There was a series that I reviewed when Jim Savard was on the first time
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Oh, when we did it at Rock Oakles the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, like a story told from like a ordinary reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, it's so much different. It's such a different take on something as monumental. Like it would have been dope to see we kind of got a taste of it in if you remember like some of the Easter eggs in one of the Easter eggs in Daredevil where Ben Urich actually wrote about the battle in Harlem between the Incredible Hulk and Abomination.
Oh yeah.
That's actually like hidden. If you watch Daredevil, you can see it hidden hanging the article hanging up in his office.
Yep.
And also the article for the Battle of New York. So, I mean, something like that from his point of view would have been very interesting. So I'm glad I actually caught this one, and it actually makes me, and like I said before, it makes me want to get into a Secret Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And then last one is Wolverine Origin. Now I've been trying to find this for a while since we met Paul Jenkins, who actually wrote the story along with Bill James and Joe Quesada.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did that Code Extra with our first Code Extra,
Yep.
along with Joe Pruitt, very nice guys, by the way.
Mm.
And the art was actually by Richard Isanov and Andy Kubert. So it's basically Marvel's best kept mutant mystery revealed, and it actually tells the story of how family tragedy flourishes and how James Howlett became Logan.
Yeah.
And this book was actually one of the inspirations. Unfortunately, I had to say it's one of the inspirations for X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
But the book is so much better.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like it goes into like such a deeper detail on like why his personality is just the way he is, let alone like how he got his claws.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there are some different tweaks and stuff that they made in the movie and stuff. I would have to actually have a bad movie day and sit and watch the movie again.
Yeah. And John Haponic actually likes X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Isn't he supposed to come on the show?
Oh yeah, he's
sometime this month?
Yeah, either a Tuesday or a Thursday. Yeah.
I'm waiting for that debate.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna troll him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Cause I'm coming with. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna channel my inner Adrian. Shout out to him. I'm gonna come in with facts.
Facts. By facts, he means his strongly worded opinions.
I'm coming with those two. So, but yeah, definitely recommend Wolverine Origins. I actually found it on sale too because the book, the suggested retail price. It was hard. I can only find hardcovers, so it was like $25. But then I found it for 15. So I'm like, you know what?
It's a good deal.
I'm not gonna see this again for this price. Snatch, worth it.
Yeah, it came out like 15 years ago, I think.
Really, that long ago?
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the movie is that long ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never had a chance to read it though, but I've heard like it was really dope. I will
It was
sit.
really good.
Yeah, I'll definitely track down a copy.
It's like, and then as a matter of fact, like, in a way, this is just my theory, but it's like there was a character named Rose that actually helped him escape the house that he grew up in where all this tragedy occurred. I'm not trying to spoil too much, so you have to read it.
Yeah.
But it's like the Rose character is, I think it's kind of a hint to why he was so in love with Jean Grey, because there is such a striking resemblance between him and Rose. I mean, between her and Jean Grey and Rose. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So I mean, just a theory of mine. I say read the book and find out.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely read the book though.
Word.
All right. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm still reading Weapon H. I just found issue 3 today, so I'm gonna get into that. Amazing Spider-Man, Wakanda Forever. You ruined that for me, so I'll review that next week. I finished Glow, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling season 2.
Okay.
Not bad. Lots of character evolution. It's a lot like Orange is the New Black, where it's like, okay, the first season was a lot about Piper, whereas like the second season and more, you get to see what the other characters are about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Kia Stevens still in it?
Yep.
Nice.
And Carlito makes a
Nice.
he makes a cameo, and who else? Chavo.
Oh, nice.
Who was the fight coordinator on the show.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. And freaking, I forgot his. I gotta remember his name because he's also in the show too. He was in the Sandlot.
Yeah, because I know the first season of Glow was also known for like some really cool wrestler cameos.
Yeah, very few.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Sandlot. Oh, that's part 3. Come on. I know you saw the Sandlot. The redheaded guy with the freckles. Oh, what was his name?
I couldn't tell you. But was he a main character on the Sandlot?
Yeah, the redhead with the freckles. The redhead, curly redhead with the freckles. Oh my God, I'm on Wikipedia right now, so you can actually go ahead with the news and headlines, and I'll just rudely interrupt you and.
Oh, I know who it is. I know who it is. Carrot Top.
Yep.
Are you serious? Was it Carrot Top?
No, his name. The actor's name is Patrick Renna. And the character that he played was Hamilton Ham Porter.
Okay.
Ham. He makes a cameo in the show too.
That's cool. That's what's up. Nice. I will sit down and watch Glow probably in the next week or two because I really like the first season.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah.
And you'll like the second.
Yep. And for next week, I will finish Luke Cage season 2. I'm still halfway through it.
Yeah. Did you like and shout outs to Furman on this one.
Yeah.
So I actually finished Luke Cage in a weekend, but like it was Friday and he called me. He was like, "Yo, in episode 2, when you're gonna know what scene it is, the furniture store scene. When that scene is over, call me."
Okay.
Oh my God, that shit had me dying. It was late. The furniture store scene.
Gosh, refresh my memory.
I don't want to say it because it could possibly mean a spoiler.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you off the air.
Okay. Yeah, like I'm halfway through the season and I'm really liking it. In fact, my girlfriend really likes Luke Cage as well. She got into the first season, finished that, and now she's right where I'm at on season 2.
Damn.
Yeah.
So now you know what that means, right?
What?
You have to watch it together.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
No, like you cannot, like you can't cheat and go ahead and I just went. I'm sure you guys are past it, so I'm just doing episode 5 there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you guys have already watched up to episode 5. You're like, I just felt like watching episode 6 without you. You broke the code. You don't do that.
Oh, there's no such thing as the code.
No, you don't. No, there is a code.
Nope.
If you're binge watching something together, you do not break the code.
Nah. You see, here's the thing.
No,
I have
It's the code.
as a co-host and co-creator of this lovely podcast of ours, it is my job, my duty to keep abreast of each individual series. And if it means going ahead to be on time, for the
that
show.
means she has to be on time too.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Nope.
That is the code. Ask anybody who is watching. That is the code.
Victor Omoyo is here to tell you viewers and listeners that there is no code.
We've been through this before when Aris was on the show. You don't do that.
# there is no code.
Okay, you know what? We'll actually, I'll create a poll.
Okay.
I'll create a poll on our social medias, and we'll see what's up.
All right. Yeah, numbers don't lie. People will agree with me. #
You don't break the code. I couldn't. Let me tell you something. Me and my girl, we could not. I couldn't go ahead and watch This Is Us without her.
I mean, you technically could.
No, it's breaking the code. We watch something that we watch together. I have to watch it with her. You know, it's anybody.
Oh well, it's a shame. It's a shame when you think that this code is like written in stone. It's all in your mind.
It's not. It's not.
Unlock the mystery.
It's one of those unwritten rules. Like, okay, I was bored and doing some moving because I'm moving again. I'm such a freaking nomad. But as I was packing up, I was caught up with my weekly podcast. So I was like, you know what? Let me go into a throwback.
Mm-hmm.
Codex Prime and chill. And you was like, I didn't know there was an unwritten code. I dropped my damn my pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was a written rule where you should be late to a party. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's like, don't advertise a party at a certain time if you know people are going to show up at a later time.
No, you do advertise that just so you won't have people show up that damn late or even early. No, you just show up like an hour late. Not bad.
Okay, well,
Like an hour or two. Like for me, I usually try to show up on time or at least close enough to like the advertised time because I'm the host. I got to be there early.
yeah, but you weren't.
Correct. That was my fault though. My girl at the time was late.
Mm-hmm.
Fashionably late, but I mean, I was still ahead of everybody except for you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I don't go to many parties. Parties.
I had to think about it. He was like, you wasn't that late. And then Maurice chimes in. He was looking at his phone the whole time, Carl. I'm sure he knows what time it was.
I did. You showed up an hour and 15 minutes
good
late.
times.
Yes, it was. But yes, news and headlines.
Yeah, let's get to those.
Yes, we begin with a rather sad one, unfortunately.
Oh, my God. That hit me.
Yeah, the passing of comics legend Steve Ditko, who died on June 29th at the age of 90 in New York City. He was the legendary comic book artist, writer, and co-creator of Spider-Man with Stan Lee. Just to give you a brief rundown, Ditko started working for Atlas Comics in 1955, which evolved into Marvel Comics, where he met Stan Lee. And together, the two collaborated on series such as Strange Tales, Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish, and Amazing Adventures. Now, after co-creating Spider-Man, Steve Ditko went on to create some of the most notable villains in the Web-Slingers series, such as Dr. Octopus, Sandman, the Lizard, and the Green Goblin. Ditko also co-created Doctor Strange before eventually leaving Marvel. He went on to work for a number of other comics publications, including Charlton and DC, before working as a freelancer from 1979 until his retirement from mainstream comics in the late 1990s. Yeah, true legend in the game.
The thing that got me, first of all, one thing to Tom Holland, who is portraying Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, actually put out a very touching tribute. And his Twitter feed that reads, that reads, "We all want to leave our mark on the world. This guy crushed it. He made so many people so happy and changed lives. Most of all mine. Thank you, Steve. Your life lives on. Your life lives on, man. Thank you. Hashtag Steve Ditko."
Yeah, right on.
Very fitting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like Steve Ditko, like any comics fan or even someone with a basic knowledge of comics history should know his name. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a Spider-Man. We wouldn't have Doctor Strange. We wouldn't have Marvel as it is today.
Right.
In many ways. So truly one of the titans, the creative titans of the comic book industry as an art form as well. Steve Ditko may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. So
Very sad.
Yeah.
The thing was, is like they don't even know the exact time he died.
Yeah.
Like, he was just found dead in his apartment.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he was.
He should have a nurse.
Yeah.
But maybe he was still up and running and kicking and stuff. Still sad though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But he lives on in his work, man.
Hopefully the next headline won't be so sad.
Well, our next headline is Neill Blomkamp is going to direct Robocop Returns. Neill Blomkamp, he's a director of District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. He's going to be working off an old script that was written years ago by the original Robocop creators, Ed Neumeyer and Michael Miner, which is currently being rewritten by Justin Rhodes, who's also writing the upcoming Terminator reboot. Neumeyer and Miner are executive producing the Robocop Returns film, which has no connection at all to the 2014 reboot starring Joel Kinnaman. You know what?
So it's going to be another reboot?
Yeah.
Basically?
It's another reboot, but it's going to be...
better?
It's going to be better because it has the original creators of Robocop, and they're working off an old, unused script that would have been a sequel to it.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm for it. I'm for it. And if it can bring RoboCop to the same quality of the first film and that same R-rated borderline NC-17 level of violence and gore that I loved when I was 5-6 years old, hey, I'm there. I'm there. Because RoboCop's a dope film.
Yeah. Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
Oh, part 1.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 had good elements. Part 3 was unwatchable.
Sting should make a cameo.
Yo, you know what? I would mark out if you saw Sting.
I definitely would. If Sting was my favorite WCW wrestler, I would lose my shit.
Oh my god, was it Capital Carnage or Capital Combat?
Capital Combat.
Yeah,
Capital Carnage was a WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah, Capital Combat 1990.
Yep.
Oh my god.
They tried so hard to be Vince at that point, and it just did not work.
Man, wrestling has come a long way.
It has.
Man.
It has.
But who knows? Maybe, hopefully, Neill Blomkamp. Hey, if you're somehow listening to this podcast, yo, give Sting a call.
He'll do it.
Yeah,
he ain't doing much.
Yeah, he'll do it. Sure, face paint and all for no reason.
Dude, oh my god, I would scream. Like, oh shit, it's Sting.
Yep. Then they can spin off into a movie. But speaking of movies, a movie about the Thailand cave rescue is already in the works. PureFlix. PureFlix.
What was all that about?
I'll explain.
Okay.
PureFlix has begun development on a film based on the rescue of the Wild Boars soccer team and their 18-day ordeal trapped inside a flooded cave in Thailand. PureFlix CEO Michael Scott was actually on site for a portion of the rescue and said that the bravery and heroism he witnessed compelled him to fast-track the production. He also said he is family friends with the wife of the Taiwanese Navy SEAL who died during the rescue mission. Now, PureFlix specializes in Christian-themed films of questionable quality, most notably God's Not Dead.
Never seen it, but I mean, you know what? I'm sure that the Thailand cave rescue is a great story that should be told.
It should. Like
So why not? I didn't follow it, but
I actually did follow it, and it was amazing. Just like the fact that those boys survived, and they were all rescued, and they all survived safe and sound, and just like the ordeal that they had to go through, like swimming through the flooded cave. Like I think it took like 3 hours, and like they had to be ushered out one at a time with 2 divers, one in front, one in back. Yeah, that man, I can't imagine the trauma that they've gone through and the trauma that they'll unfortunately experience for perhaps years to come.
yeah, PTSD ain't no joke.
Yeah, absolutely not. But yeah, this is a story that should definitely be told, but I'm just not cool with Pure Flix doing it because I've seen like clips and reviews, in-depth reviews of several of their films. Most notably by Brad Jones of Stoned Gremlin Productions. He plays the cinema snob on YouTube.
Okay.
And he reviews really bad and awful Christian themed films. And they're like,
Is he an atheist?
he was raised Christian. He's like non-religious. He's like agnostic, I would say. So, but yeah, like if you've seen any films like God's Not Dead, you know that these films are so bad. They're like the white version of Tyler Perry's films, basically.
Goodness, here we go.
So Pure Flix making this kind of story, I know on the one hand I think it's a cool thing because the CEO knows one of the rescuers, and
the story's actually getting told.
And the story is getting told, but I wish it was from a much better studio. And that's just me.
Disney?
Like Disney or Warner Brothers,
Paramount.
or Paramount, Fox.
New Line Cinema. That's a division of.
I think New Line Cinema is a division of Warner Brothers. Yeah, because they're doing Shazam, which is part of DC. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you know what? I think. I mean, this was a movie. This was an event that a movie was going to come out, and considering how fast social media is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, they're gonna make a movie about Papa John's.
Papa John's and his N-word flavored pizza.
Oh my god! Listen, first of all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never liked Papa John's pizza like that.
Yeah.
It's like very doughy.
Mm.
To me, at least.
Yeah. I've never had Papa John's myself,
yeah,
but
much.
Yeah.
But guess what? They about to lose a lot of business.
Good. Absolutely good.
Even at least for a little bit. Like I needed something quick and cheap. I went to H&M.
Yeah. H&M?
Yeah. Remember they had the whole thing with the coolest monkey in the jungle?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I guess they learned their lesson. No.
But I was gonna say, you know what business should go under? Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is amazing. Stop being a dick.
I'm not being a dick. Chick-fil-A is being a dick.
Chick-fil-A is delicious.
No, with their anti-gay hate sandwiches.
They're not anti.
Yes, they are.
I mean, I know they just don't. I wouldn't say that they hate it, but it's like they just don't support it because of Christian values. I understand, but it's not. It does. Yeah, but just because. Okay, I don't hate Migos, but I won't support their music.
Migos and the LGBTQ community are not the same thing.
I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm just saying just because they won't support something doesn't mean they actually hate it. I'm sure they have gay employees.
Okay, Carl. First of all, if you don't support the LGBTQ community, but it's implicit, if not outright obvious, that you on some level dislike.
No, I don't. I didn't go to Pride a couple weeks ago, but it's like I have no.
Maybe not you, but I'm saying that the statement itself, saying that just because they don't support LGBTQ rights, in this case Chick-fil-A, doesn't mean that they hate it. But they do. They hate.
Show me the actual statement where it says that they actually do hate. Then I'll stop eating Chick-fil-A, even though it's very rare that I do.
It's in their actions. It's been proven that part of their profits, especially from their CEO, has gone towards anti-gay conversion therapy camps. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact.
Show me the article.
So when
Come on, Adrian, show me the facts, Adrian.
I'll pull some up after the show. I will pull some up after the
I was
show.
hoping you do an Adrian P impression.
I mean,
I threw you off. Didn't I?
I mean, listen. Every time you purchase those waffle fries or those wraps, you're contributing to.
You're part of the problem.
You are part of the problem. Okay. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
That should be a Codex T-shirt. You're part of the problem.
Well, damn it. Be responsible with your consumerism.
I know. It's been a while since I had Chick-fil-A too. It's just that when I went, it was a good experience.
Yeah, well, team anti-Chick-fil-A right here. Anyway.
Moving on
to some other news. Indiana Jones Part 5 has been delayed until 2021. The film was originally scheduled for a July 19, 2019 release. Then it was moved to July 10, 2020, and now it has been pushed back for a second time to July 19, 2021. Harrison Ford will turn 79 by the time of this film's release, and Steven Spielberg is still on board to direct.
Harrison Ford wants that character dead too.
You know, with the delays of Indiana Jones, I think the universe is trying to send a message. Just let it go.
I think it's, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be ageist or anything. I'm not saying that, like, what Harrison Ford is going to be swinging around like young Indiana Jones.
He definitely will not. Well, they're gonna make him do it.
But
are the spoilers over? Sorry, but we haven't even got. Sorry, Kyle. We haven't even got to the spoilers yet.
Yeah,
we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll let you know. But with Harrison Ford, man, I mean, I will say Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I enjoyed it. It's a good Indiana Jones film.
Is that when he like hands it over to like his son?
Yeah, well, Shia LaBeouf was in it. Like, I understand his criticisms, but it was an enjoyable flick. But I think that was where the series should have ended. I was like, you know what? Fine, cool. But Part 5, it's like, what's the point?
It's a legendary character, and they just want to open it up to new audiences.
Yeah, but
you make money off of it.
Yeah, but you have the first 4, and if they wanted to do that, they could have had a young Indiana Jones with another actor, like they did with Alden Ehrenreich with Han Solo, instead of.
But that's a prequel though. So are you gonna need an Indiana Jones prequel?
Well, technically, they all take place in the past, so it's like, you know, you could get away with a new Indiana Jones with a new adventure, because they all take place.
Then that would just be Uncharted.
Yeah, basically. That's where do you think Uncharted got its blueprint from?
Or Tomb Raider.
Or Tomb Raider, for that matter. Yeah, but you know, like, I mean, much respect to Harrison Ford, but you know, dragging back the Indiana Jones character, it's like dragging back the Undertaker back to the ring. It's like,
no. Now you're just being a dick. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yeah, I almost said it. It's like Harrison Ford. He's probably gonna die. If he does do this, he's gonna kill off Indiana Jones.
Okay.
And then you probably just pass the baton. Was his son named like Indiana Jones Jr. or something like that?
His son's name was Mutt Williams. Mutt Williams.
That's not gonna sell. I think this has to be the last one.
Yeah.
This has to be like if he does it, Indiana Jones is dying, and you're just gonna have to live off of like nostalgia alone, isn't it?
Or I have an idea.
Ain't that a Lucas property?
Yeah, it is. Lucasfilm. Yep. So it's part of Disney.
Yeah.
But I have a great idea.
That's why they're doing it. It's Disney. They're trying to cut every cash cow they can.
Oh yeah. But I have a great idea for Indiana Jones 5. It's like he's working with a team of young adventurers, and he has to go on one last adventure because he's dying of terminal cancer.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Right?
I knew it was coming. There it was.
And you can have a scene where he's on his deathbed, like in the middle of the jungle, and his team of young adventurers are surrounding him, and they give him a proper send off, and it's like the Oscar scene right there. Harrison Ford can get his Oscar right there. Just like you can feel the heartbreak and just the legacy just being solidified.
Okay, so first of all,
I would
cry.
I would cry if it was done well and directed well. I would shed tears.
And you'll be happy because cancer is involved. You sick fuck.
Listen, man, look, just because some of the dramas that I watched in the past involved a terminal disease doesn't mean that that's what I deliberately seek. I'm a fan of great storytelling. If it involves a terminal disease, then so be it.
Oh yes, so many of them do. So many of them. Speaking of which, I'm going back to your purchases and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, you just balled out on comics, and I'm just now realizing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's July.
Yes.
Usually you be hitting backflips over the freaking
Oh snap! Yo, dude, my dude, yo, it's July, and you know what that means, though. We're talking about the Criterion Collection sale at Barnes and Noble. Yo, I knew I forgot something. Yo, hold the fort down. Read the next headline. I'm gonna get my stuff.
Get your ass. Are you really leaving? Oh wait, you actually did buy some stuff.
Yes, I did.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, the next headline is Billy Dee Williams will return as. Oh wait, actually, before I go into there, Kyle chimed in onto the. Oh my God, I'm looking back at the video and I'm looking at you laugh, running and shit. But Kyle interjected on the whole Indiana Jones things. He talk and he goes, "Is he wheelchairing down cliffs? Kidney bag vine swinging? Is he getting chased by giant kidney stones?" And also, my sister, this 4th of July, had a little message for you. I'll try to play it real quick.
Okay, what's that? What kind of message, Carl?
All right, hold on.
Coco, I'm not a baby.
Victor, did you hear that? Say it again, please.
Crying Coco, I'm not a baby.
Victor, did you hear that? Say it again, please.
I did not crying Coco, I'm not a baby.
Wait, what was that?
She said that she didn't cry in Coco. She's not a baby.
Yo, haters. Haters.
But anyway, back to the news and headlines before Victor comes back. He's got to talk like a...
Yo.
Wow.
Yo.
Like,
Yo, first of all, bam, right there. First of all, Felicia is her name, right?
Yeah.
Listen, you don't have to be a baby to cry in Coco. Listen, just because you don't have a soul or a conscience doesn't mean you can project your,
Whoa. Just because we actually... No. It's not that we don't have a soul or we don't have a conscience. We are very soulful and self-conscious people. Mm-hmm. We just actually have a fucking spine.
Listen, you don't have. It's not about having a spine. It's about the emotional intelligence of a film, and that film was emotionally intelligent, and it touched me. When that song "Remember Me" plays, when he's playing that song in front of his old abuelita, his great grandmother,
abuelita.
Yeah, whatever. I had tears streaming down my face in the theater. I was like, "Don't do this to me, Pixar. Don't do this to me." Listen, it was so perfectly executed.
That shit is on Netflix, and I'll probably fall asleep on it.
Because you're an asshole.
What? Damn, why do I gotta be all that?
Because you don't have the emotional capacity to appreciate a film like Coco. But anyway,
I probably think it's good.
But anyway, yes, the Barnes and Noble Criterion Collection sale is in full effect all throughout this month of July. Christmas comes three times a year, but twice a year if you're counting July and November when the Criterion Collection sales come around. So I got
nobody but you does,
and millions of other people, or at least hundreds of thousands. But I bought 5 films so far, and because I have a list. So the films that I got in the Criterion Collection sale,
he was balling.
Yeah, I saved, but I got first one. I got The Age of Innocence, which is a film directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Winona Ryder. A beautiful.
That's a lineup.
It is, and it's a beautiful period drama. It takes place in 1800s New York. It's about a love story of societal repression. It's about bougie folks trying to mask their own feelings.
Oh, that's right up your alley.
And I love this film so much. And
of course you do.
And I'm so glad that it's finally on the Criterion Collection because it desperately needed a high-definition remaster. And it's so resplendent, so delicious to look at. I love it.
Stop saying it.
I'll never stop saying it. The next film I bought is Midnight Cowboy, which is a 1969 Best Picture Oscar winner, the only X-rated film to win the Oscar for Best Picture, starring.
Wait, what? You bought a Criterion porno?
It's not a porno.
You said it's an X-rated movie, though.
Yeah, but at the time when X meant that it was like NC-17 back then, but it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but by today's standards, it's an R. But
Oh, okay.
but this film stars Jon Voight and Dustin Hoffman, and this is a really great film. It's about Jon Voight plays this guy who comes from Texas, who moves to New York, and he wants to realize his dream of becoming a male gigolo. And this is a deep movie. I love this movie. And
Wait, so that's Dustin Hoffman's character?
Dustin Hoffman, he plays his handler. He was like this,
His
like
pimp.
kinda, sorta, like they're like pimp slash friends. They're both
He's a friendly pimp.
yeah, oversimplification. There's more to it than that, but it's a great film. Great acting. The ending is heartbreaking, but I absolutely love this film.
You
Midnight
already watched
Cowboy.
these?
Oh yeah. I also got another Best Picture Oscar winner, Tom Jones, not the singer.
Yeah, you just killed it for me.
This
I was ready.
This one, it's the 1963 Best Picture Oscar winner, starring Albert Finney. It's a really ribald period comedy, and it's really cool. It's directed by Tony Richardson. There's two versions, a theatrical and director's cut. This was a film that desperately needed a restoration, and we finally get one thanks to Criterion. Great film, perhaps one of the most underrated Best Picture Oscar winners. And of course, I got The Passion of Joan of Arc, classic 1928 silent film. Great use, excellent use of close-ups, great cinematography, very, very striking visuals. And last but not least, so far, I got Criterion's Silence of the Lambs.
I thought you already had that.
I had the original Blu-ray
Okay, I'm
from
taking that out your free. Damn it, I got it.
you can take that off my hands, as well as Midnight Cowboy, because they're dope movies.
What's going on? What's going on, Nick Thomas? That's my fucking guy right there.
Yeah, but yeah, have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
Long time ago.
Like it's a classic movie. I mean, it rubs the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again. You know.
Yeah, could you did you really have to take it that far?
Now it places the lotion in the basket. Put the fucking lotion in the basket. Oh God, Buffalo Bill, and
You watch too many movies.
you know that's
Entirely too many movies.
I
You believe that there's no such thing, but damn it,
hey, you remember that scene in Clerks 2 where Jay is spoofing Buffalo Bill? He's like, "Would you do me?
oh yeah.
I do me." And he has that tuck, and he's like exposing
Yeah.
himself. All came from this film. Goodbye horses. Oh God, you won't. That song is creepy as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, even worse when you sing it, but
Yeah. Oh, I can't sing worth a damn, but still.
we know that.
That's why I don't sing. That's why I don't sing at all. But yeah, Criterion Collection sale. Yo, plenty of dope movies. Hit up your local Barnes and Noble. Well, if you're in Rhode Island, hit up the one in Smithfield, because the one in Warwick does not sell movies, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, they used to, but they don't anymore, which is very, very unfortunate. But yo, hop on those Criterion, son. Some dope classics. Don't sleep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anywho, on to more news and items of interest. As I was reporting, Billy Dee Williams will return as Lando Calrissian in the Star Wars Episode 9. That's the worst Billy Dee Williams impression.
It sure was. Never do that again.
Colt 45. I watched a lot of In Living Color, so I learned.
Oh God, I remember that sketch.
The 81-year-old actor did not reprise his role in The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. J.J. Abrams has returned to direct the third and final film in the sequel trilogy, which comes out December 20th, 2019, a proper time to release a Star Wars movie. And you know what it is? They just got to kill the original trilogy off, and I think he's the last one.
I mean,
Han
Han
Solo's dead.
Uh,
Luke Skywalker's dead.
mhm. Leia.
Yeah,
Well,
we're still not sure what they're doing, but I mean, ain't nobody else playing that role,
nah.
so it's
Maybe
kind of safe to say that she
or maybe it should have like an off-screen role. Those-
possibly.
So they can like continue her story like in the comics or books at least.
You'll cry when you see her, won't you?
I will. I will.
I knew you would.
I will.
And who else is? Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much
that's
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just time. It's just that last one to just kill him off.
Yeah. Oh well, there's Anthony Daniels who plays C-3PO.
Yeah, but the droids, they don't count.
Well, he's in the actual costume.
They ain't gonna use that no more. Come on now. If we can see somebody at Comic-Con making their own CP3O and controlling it with a PlayStation controller, they don't need them no more.
Well, I think you're thinking about R2D2. He's
Yeah,
like the short
R2D2,
one.
excuse me.
C-3PO's the golden one.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll probably do that too with a PlayStation controller. Yeah, it's technology, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But yeah, I'm glad to see Billy Dee Williams coming back one more time as Lando, because he's the coolest player in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He even got, yeah, didn't you ask? Yeah, you asked him a question that.
Yep. I asked him who his favorite directors were working with. and
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I know you do.
He said Irvin Kershner, who directed Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
And he mentioned Tony Richardson, who also directed Tom Jones. I think you remember. I think you mentioned one, whoever directed Mahogany, I think. And I've never seen Mahogany yet.
I remember my mom watching it when it was on cable one time.
Yeah, it's one of those movies in the black film canon that I haven't gotten around to yet, but I will. But yeah, it'll be great to see Lando back in the Cape one more time. And speaking of Star Wars, Ahmed Best discusses his real-life consequences of Star Wars fan backlash. For those who don't know, Ahmed Best played Jar Jar Binks in The Phantom Menace.
This article.
Arguably the most hated character in the history of Star Wars. The actor shared his experiences enduring the fan backlash towards his role and how it affected him personally. And he posted a photo of himself and his son on his Twitter feed on July 3rd, saying, quote, 20 years next year, I faced a media backlash that still affects my career today. This was the place I almost ended my life. It's still hard to talk about. I survived, and now this little guy is my gift for survival, referring to his son.
Awesome.
Would this be a good story for my solo show? Let me know, unquote. That was
You Star Wars fans did a number on him.
Hey, don't blame me. Listen.
Do you hate Jar Jar Binks?
No, actually, I didn't.
Really?
Nah,
Me, son.
I can see why people found the character annoying, but he was the least of that film's problems.
Okay. And then Nick Thomas says Chewie must die then, which is
Oh my god! Oh man, if they kill off Chewie in Episode 9, don't drop a moon on him. Please don't drop a moon on him, because they did it in like the old Star Wars books before Disney bought it. Yeah, that was a trash way to go.
And Barry Gordy directed Mahogany.
Ah, okay. I don't think you mentioned Barry Gordy.
I would not. I don't think he would.
But anyway, but yeah, good on Ahmed Best to to come out on the other side, because it shows that as toxic as fandom is, especially from like a certain subset of so-called fans, like the sense of entitlement is such that a lot of idiot fans out there forget that these are actual human beings behind these characters, and when you shit on them on social media, it's no surprise that you have cases where someone like Ahmed Best would be almost driven to the point of suicide. Thank goodness he wasn't. And then you have someone like Jake Lloyd, who played Anakin in Episode 1, be bullied towards.
Yeah, but he's like all messed up now.
Yeah, be bullying towards like psychiatric care, and now more recently with Daisy Ridley and Kelly Marie Tran driven off social media because of these asshole fans out there.
Yeah, and 11
shit.
from Stranger Things too. Also,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
she deleted. She deleted her accounts as bullying, and
Yeah.
everybody. And I love 11.
Yeah, that was Millie Bobby Brown,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
she's a badass chick.
Yeah. Like, I gotta say, like, not to harp on it like too much because we have to get on with the rest of the show, but I will say that, toxic fandom, fandom has gotten out of control and it gets to a point where it makes me not want to share my fandom publicly. And you know what? And this touches on like if you remember how I said I had Star Wars fatigue, and this is it. It's not because of the movies themselves or like the constant merchandising. It's because of the toxic fandom. That's what was weighing me down.
Tom
And,
Brady.
like, oh my God, football fans are a different story. But you know, I will say that, yo, you toxic fans out there, you're shitting on not only the people behind these roles and the things that you claim you love so much, but you're shitting on other fans and you're shitting on the material itself.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that he survived.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he's found a new purpose in life. Probably not doing any movies ever. Has he done a movie since?
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Understandable, but like,
yeah.
but I mean, he still probably could have did another. He could have did another movie to like redeem himself for it. That
Yeah.
probably could have cured it.
He's a talented dude. Like I think he did some like bit parts here and there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, all I gotta say is like you toxic fans out there, number one, y'all ain't real fans.
Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman, he will always be Dr. Robotnik in my heart.
Yep.
The arch enemy of the fast-moving hedgehog with the video games that you need to stop writing these dockets all biased and shit.
Listen, I will read this. So yes, Jim Carrey will play Dr. Robotnik, the arch enemy of the fast-moving hedgehog with the video games that aren't as good as you remember.
Shit
Yes,
is
facts.
fire.
Facts.
Fire.
Dumpster fire. I agree.
Nah, not at all. Jeff Fowler will be directing, and it will also be his debut feature. The Sonic movie will also star Tika Sumpter and James Marsden, excuse me.
Yep.
Animated film.
Yeah, I think it's an animated movie.
Dope.
You know,
Dope. Let me tell you, I've seen Jim Carrey over the years. He played so many characters, just in Living Color alone.
oh yeah.
So, like, I'm not doubting the man's work.
Oh no, like Jim Carrey, he's immensely talented.
What's an underrated Jim Carrey movie?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Liar, Liar.
Liar Liar was funny. Yeah. Me, Myself, and Irene was hilarious.
I love Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh my God, I was dying with the chickens shoved up the dudes. Oh my God.
No, the brother when he finally slipped, when he finally snapped into Hank, and then like he was going to take a shit on the neighbor's lawn, and then at first you really think you seen it, but it turned out to be just chocolate ice cream.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was
Like the whole theater was
that was
like,
nice
it just started bugging out laughing.
Oh yeah, that was a nice editing cutaway.
Great editing. Farrelly Brothers, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Rhode Islanders.
Oh yeah, yeah. Underrated Jim Carrey film. I wouldn't say it's underrated because it's definitely one of his well known. But I will say The Truman Show is a really good one.
I never seen it.
Oh, I think you'll like it.
He said the cable guy.
amazing. That's a good one. Yeah,
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't too much of a fan of the cable guy.
which is understandable. I know a lot of fans were kind of turned off by Cable Guy because it was a little more serious than the trailers indicated.
Yeah.
But I will say that's his most underrated or most underappreciated because like if I watch it now, I'd be like, you know what, I get what they're trying to do this time. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah. Last one before we get into spoiling.
Yeah, we'll skip ahead a little bit actually.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah, there's a couple more in the back. Well, 3 more in the back, but which we can get through real quick.
All right.
One, Jeremy Renner, aka Hawkeye. He's going to be starring in Todd McFarlane's Spawn film.
Not with it.
No?
Nope.
Well, hold on. Jeremy Renner will be playing Detective Twitch Williams
That's why.
alongside Jamie Foxx's Spawn. Now,
Not with it.
How come?
It's too, Twitch Williams was like a very. Have you read? Have you like opened up your Spawn?
I haven't opened up the first issue yet.
If I show you what he looks like, and then you look at Jeremy Renner, now I'm not gonna doubt. I'm sure Todd McFarlane knows what he's doing because like he's my favorite comic artist, and Spawn was always my favorite superhero.
Mm-hmm. Like he was like Twitch Williams. He was like a lanky dude, right?
Extremely lanky dude.
I mean, like as long as he gets the essence of the character, he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but it'd be way too distracting. And he's like and the character's like way too soft. Like this is him right here.
Oh yeah.
It just wouldn't. Just everybody Google Twitch Williams, and then I'm sure Jeremy Renner will come up. But if you see how Todd McFarlane always drew him, you wouldn't see it wouldn't be a fit. Now they actually made a cameo in the Spawn movie from 1997, and the Twitch Williams character actually looked just like him.
Oh wow.
Get that same guy.
Okay.
He's probably old. Hopefully not dead, but
Yeah. Also, Deadpool 2 is getting a super duper cut. This version will include 15 minutes of new footage, and it comes out August 7th on digital formats, as well as on Blu-ray August 21st.
I am getting both copies.
Yes.
I have both copies of the first one. So.
Yeah, I'm getting the Steelbook edition August 21st, and this time I will pre-order. I will pre-order. I will not make the same mistake with the first film. And
Nothing wrong with pre-ordering.
well, when it comes to movies, sure. And last but not least, a little bit of wrestling news here. The WWE Mae Young Classic is coming next month, 2018. The second Mae Young Classic tournament will be taped at Full Sail University on August 8th and 9th. And the former WWE Divas champion Caitlyn, real name Celeste Bonin, has been announced as the first competitor. She will be making her return to WWE programming after 4 years away from the company following her departure in 2014. And as you guys may remember, Kairi Sane won the inaugural tournament last year, defeating Shayna Baszler.
Haven't seen a leg drops as good yet, but the first Mae Young Classic was good.
Yeah,
I'm down to see. I'm looking forward to the second.
absolutely. Yeah, and Caitlyn, she was always a solid competitor.
Definitely was.
Yeah.
Now,
Let's get into it. So we're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we'll get into a bit of brief non-spoiler first impressions, and then we'll segue into our spoiler review. So Ant-Man and the Wasp is the 20th, count it, 10/20, Marvel Cinematic Universe film in 10 years. Remarkable. Big ups to Marvel Studios.
you know, I actually it fills my heart with joy whenever I watch a Marvel Studios film this year, and you just see Marvel Studios and the I and the O turns into a 10.
Yeah.
Just for the most part, probably 80% of it, great content.
Oh yeah. I
The
agree.
other 20 was just mediocre at best. The other 19 is mediocre at best. 1% is Inhumans.
Yeah, Inhumans, Iron Fist.
Yeah.
You got to put Iron Fist in there.
I do.
Yeah. And Thor the Dark World.
I wouldn't do it.
No, the Dark World was very mediocre, but
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Mediocre is that's that 20%. So.
yeah. But yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's the sequel to the 2015 Ant-Man film starring Paul Rudd, who comes back once again as Scott Lang. And this film, he is under house arrest 2 years after the events of Captain America: Civil War, for traveling to Germany and helping out Team Cap in violation of the Sokovia Accords. He was imprisoned for 2 years in house arrest, and he's also estranged from Hank Pym and
Hope Van Dyne.
And certain events bring Scott Lang back to the fold, where he has to elude the authorities who are on his case, and they have to track down a. I'm getting into a Carl Bird summary at this point. Essentially, they run into this adversary who's known as Ghost, who has phasing powers, who can actually walk through walls and other material, and she's after a certain material that will cure Ghost of her phasing condition. It's the same material that Hank Pym and Hope need to rescue Janet Van Dyne, who's Hank's wife and Hope's mother, from the quantum realm, because one night, Scott Lang receives what he thinks is a vision or some weird daydream or dream from Janet Van Dyne, which turns out to be an actual coded signal that she is in fact still alive, and she has coordinates to bring to be rescued from the quantum realm. So now it's up to Hank Pym and company to rescue Janet Van Dyne while putting a stop to Ghost and others. So yeah, that's the setup for Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Carl, what did you think of this film?
I enjoyed it. I didn't go into it with the expectations of it's gonna be on a Black Panther level or a Infinity War level. But honestly, for me, it felt like it was a nice pick me up from the somber note that Infinity Wars left on everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's something that I was like, all right, Infinity War was heavy.
Yep.
So we needed that. We needed that. So I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun filler.
Yeah.
It seemed like a bit filler. And shout outs to the Party Nerds. I called into their show the other day and I argued with their host Jerv. So it was a good time. We may be debating this movie pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. Possibly look out for that. Possibly look out for that Code Extra.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a fun watch. I believe that Michael Pena stole the show in every scene that he was in. Like, I love his character.
Yeah.
And, like, cause mainly like two of the most notable movies I remember Michael Pena being in was World Trade Center and Crash. So he was both pretty sad films. But it's like with this, you know, with his character in Ant-Man is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
And he's still the same character, so it's just one of those cases where if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And I think it still worked. I think the movie still worked. It was very enjoyable. Had a great time watching it with my friends and I. The mid-credit scene, we're gonna go into that when we get to the spoilers. But I say it's a fun time to be had by all if you go see it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I totally agree. This was like you said, it was a really good palate cleanser.
Yes.
And I liked the lightness of it, and it was a genuinely funny comedic superhero film. And unlike Thor Ragnarok, the comedy actually fit the story and the tone of the film. Like the comedy didn't break the plot or the storytelling. I really enjoy Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly as Ant-Man and the Wasp, respectively. Their chemistry is really fun to watch. Their back and forth and their banter. I really like the character of Hope Van Dyne, and I hope to see more of her, not just future Ant-Man films, but she could be a really solid solo act if given the chance. I also liked the supporting characters like Michael Pena and T.I.
T.I. He didn't do much, but it's like whatever he did, like the chemistry with Michael Pena and everybody else, like it just kind of helped. He helped the scene, just like
yeah.
Like I can't even figure
like,
out what's the word.
Like he definitely gave a nice some not brevity, but he gave like some life to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lightheartedness to it.
Thank you. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Oh my god.
And like some of the most hilarious scenes in it involve like him like retelling stories, like, and then it cuts to like the characters like speaking in his voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love those.
All fast paced back and forth. That was really hilarious. It was like a nice continuation from the first film. I also really like the character of Ghost, who is also known as Ava Starr. Like her character was really interesting.
From Ready Player One.
Yep, was she in Ready Player One? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, she was also in some other bit parts. I know she was in The Force Awakens in like a bit part.
Really?
Yeah, like a brief appearance as like one of the First Order officers.
Get that Disney money.
Yeah, it was like a really bit part. It's like blink and you miss it. But you know, Nigerian actors represent. Awesome.
Is she Nigerian?
Yeah, half Nigerian.
Oh. Okay.
Yep, and I think half Norwegian. Yeah, but yeah, like her character was really interesting. Visually, her outfit reminded me of a Destiny character from the video game.
That, and I also got like night Moon Knight.
Oh, yeah,
that was very straight, it was resembling Moon Knight a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like, gee, I cannot talk.
Moon Knight.
Yes.
Yeah. So like,
I hope that's the next Netflix movie series.
Yeah, that would be a fire. Like I liked like where her character went. Like we'll get in a little, we'll get more into it in spoilers. But I did like how they handled her character as well as Lawrence Fishburne, as Bill.
I got something to say about him in the
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah, as Bill Foster, Hank Pym's former colleague turned bitter rival.
Yeah.
Also, it's also for me as a fan of this particular actor, it's always a joy to see Walton Goggins on screen in anything.
He's in Sons of Anarchy.
I know I still gotta watch Sons of Anarchy, but I know he was in Justified, awesome show.
Yeah.
The Shield, he was in the Hateful Eight, Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, he was.
To see him in it, I was like, you know what, that's what's up. Although Walton Goggins is such an excellent actor that he could play a much stronger Marvel character if given the
I
opportunity.
thought so too.
But it's still a delight to see him in this film nonetheless. And yeah, all in all, man, I would say Ant-Man and the Wasp is definitely on par with the first film in terms of quality. Like it's
Just as good.
it's just as good. Like I really can't say that it's better or lesser than. It's perfectly equal, perfectly matched
And
in
I'm
every
okay
way.
with that.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you know what? Sometimes that's just fine. That's just fine.
Yeah, it's
know?
like we had what they said in the part where Grandmaster Fact said on the Party Nerds. He's like, we just had, nice French cuisine, but it was kind of good to like go back to the fast food a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? It was good to have a burger.
Yeah, like it's sometimes it's good to have that, that grilled salmon and rice pilaf dish, right, in the form of Avengers Infinity War. But, every now and again you have a nice falafel wrap, with Ant-Man and the Wasp. With some rice and grape leaves. Yeah. It's terrific. It's like the grape leaves and falafel.
Now all of a sudden he's vegan.
Hey, listen, yo.
Now all of a sudden he's vegan.
Listen, yo.
Put a steak in front of your face and see how long you last.
Listen, I'm not 100% vegan, like, cause I can't say no to a piece of bacon or a piece of grilled chicken. But listen, don't sleep on vegan food. Yo, vegan food is the truth.
I'm gonna put a steak in front of your face and see what happens.
It depends on how hungry I am.
Steak.
It depends on how hungry I
I had
am.
one yesterday. That shit was delicious.
But I'm telling you, yo, vegan food is the truth, dog. I can recommend you some places. Yo, Rhode Island is the truth when it comes to vegan food.
All
son.
right, but let's.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get into some spoilers.
Me too. So,
Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We finna spoil the shit out of this thing, so let's go.
Yes. All right. Where do you want to start, Carl?
I don't even. Okay, first of all, I might as. They did it again with the euthanizing.
What you talking about?
Like, I probably used the wrong word for it,
Probably.
but Hank Pym, Michelle Pfeiffer, looking young again.
Oh yeah, the witch burner technology.
Thank you. I said euthanize. Wow.
But it was like shout outs to Maurice when we reviewed Ant-Man. He was like, burn the fucking witch.
Yo, and they did that. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was watching Batman Returns again.
Yo.
I was looking at Selena Kyle getting put. I'm like, I was waiting for Christopher Walken to come out and push her out a damn window.
Yo, like
Shout outs to Lawrence Fishburne and Michelle Pfeiffer leaving DC to see the light at Marvel.
that's right.
Shout outs to John Aponic.
That's right. Yo, like just to see young Michael Douglas, like from the 80s.
Yeah.
And Michelle Pfeiffer from then, like, it's just so seamless.
And they did the same thing with Lawrence Fishburne.
Yo, I
said, man, I was like, man, look at Furious Styles right there.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking Boys in the Hood. Oh man, I was thinking Boys in the Hood. I'm like,
But you look just like how we did in Boys in the Hood. Just a
Yeah.
little heavier.
yup, yeah, man. Yo, that's CG, man. It's just so amazing, like what they can do with that de-aging technology.
Yo, for real. That's why I can say I can play Miles Morales.
Yeah, you could.
With technology like that, I can do it.
But yeah, that was pretty amazing to see, and I will say, The character of Ghost. I know I said I was going to get more to this in the spoilers.
Yeah, go ahead.
I really like the fact that she wasn't an outright villain.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah.
Yo, Marvel's doing it with these villains.
Yo, like she was just an antagonist.
Yeah, yeah, but here's the thing. You understand them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like, okay, I wouldn't say Loki so much, but in a way you still kind of understood his motives.
Yeah.
Thanos, you understood his motives.
Yep.
Killmonger, you definitely understood his motives. And now Ghost.
Yeah.
Whereas like DC is, I'm going to destroy the world.
Yep. Yeah, and
Like, that's it. But it's like you feel for the villain. So you
Yeah.
get an all-around appreciation for all the characters, protagonists and antagonists.
yeah, and with Ghost, like her backstory was pretty tragic. Like her father tried to save her, like try to get her and her mom to
I got
escape.
used to exile her father.
Yeah, and then her little ghost or young Ava was like, "No, daddy," and she's like running
Tried
back,
to save him.
try to save him.
It's
Then
just
like laboratory exploded, both parents were killed, and then when the rescue team came, that scene where he tried to like embrace her, like his arms just, like
couldn't.
went through her, like she just phased right through her, like, and then like Lawrence Fishburne's character Bill Foster, who was Hank Pym's former colleague,
Right.
reached out to her as a young girl and said, "Hey, I can help you out with your condition. Let me work with you." And then you see her grow up, and then she becomes a weapon for Shield.
Shield, yeah.
Like Shield's like uses her as a weapon without really helping her condition.
Right.
She's just a weapon to them. And now she's at the point where she discovers a possible way to permanently cure her condition, and it does involve like going to the quantum realm, which unfortunately also involves getting rid of Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah.
So in a sense that she's only the villain in as much as Ant-Man and the Wasp get in her way, and that's the only reason why she's the villain.
Exactly.
Like if it wasn't for Ant-Man and the Wasp, she'd be like a tragic hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like I said before. It's like you understand the villains.
Yeah. Yep.
I shouldn't even use villain in this case. Antagonist.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and she was a very interesting character. Like just how she phased in and out of nowhere, and her relation to Bill Foster, who was kind of like a basically her foster father in a way.
I see what you did there.
Yep. and also how that tied into Foster's animus towards Hank Pym, and that scene where they meet in his office, it was like tense. It was like even like Bill Foster was just spitting out, even though he was like getting under his skin, he was like spitting out some harsh truth. Yeah. He was spitting out some facts about Hank Pym's it's like, dude, like, you're responsible because of your arrogance, and you pushed me out of your research, took credit for all of my work. You know what? Your wife paid the price. What can I say? And Hank was ready to like lay those.
He was right, yo. He was ready to give him them hands.
Yeah, but it was like
ready to scrap.
He was like, yo, well, Bill Foster's not wrong. He wasn't wrong.
Exactly, and then that's the thing. Another thing with Marvel villains, like the heroes have their own convictions as well. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's just, you get mixed feelings about all the characters.
Yeah.
Like, damn, like, you assholes, like, you did this. Like, this is because of you.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And also too, just seeing Walton Goggins and how his character Sonny Birch fit into the whole scheme.
He was more of an antagonist than Ghost was.
Oh yeah, like he was just like a mercenary, just like a black market seller. Yeah, and yeah, I thought his arc was pretty cool.
He was comical as well too.
Oh yeah, like Walton Goggins, he's an excellent actor, and like, I would love to see him in a different role, like a more well-known character.
Yeah.
And I think they could still do it because when you think about it, they did it with Alfre Woodard.
That's the only one, I think.
Yeah, because she was a minor character. She was like a bit character in Civil War.
Yeah.
She played Mariah Dillard in Luke Cage.
Yeah. Wait until you finish that.
Oh, I can't wait. Don't spoil it for me.
I'm not, but all I'm gonna say is you'll be like, damn.
Yo, Alfred Woodard is doing it.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
And she's gonna play Sarabi
Oh, in the
in
Lion
King movie.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for
Yeah,
that.
speaking of which, a little off subject. Did you see the pictures that we posted
Yes.
where Mufasa got leaked?
Yep. Yeah, which you accidentally put Mustafa.
I did.
You were thinking of Mustafa Ali, weren't you?
I was. You know what it is? Because I'm on the Wrestling Fantasy Warfare. I'm always like typing about wrestling 205 Live. Mustafa Ali just had that banger of a match.
Yes, Buddy
Couple weeks
Murphy.
ago. So I mean, boom! Like it just came out of habit. But
Yeah,
I haven't typed Mufasa in a while.
yeah.
Cut me some slack. But yeah, there's like, I know you got some more clever notes. I just got my Easter eggs. I'm kind of winging it for the.
Yeah, I also liked the banter, like the chemistry between Scott Lang and Hope, because you could tell like there was like a hint of like a budding romance in the first film,
Yeah.
and there's some.
No, they did hook up in the first one.
Yeah, they did. I think yeah, and then they.
Then they split,
They
they
split.
split, over time, especially over the events of Civil War and stuff. Oh, I actually did like Randall Park's character,
Oh yeah, that
Jimmy Woo.
Yeah.
Like he was actually more of a serious character in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I love the twist on it, and the chemistry was there
Yeah.
between him and Scott Lang. Like I remember him. Honestly, I didn't even remember his name. I remember seeing him in an episode of The Office where Jim plays a prank on Dwight as always, but Jim played Steve, who was an active friend of his, and he was like, he comes into the office and he goes, "Hey Dwight," he's like, "Who are you?" "I'm Jim." He's like, "Jim's not Asian." "Really? You haven't noticed? Thanks for not seeing color." And he's just doing everything. Jim was just really messing with Dwight's head, thinking like all this time Dwight thought that Jim was white, but he was really Asian. Like they even replaced the family picture with him and Pam, with him and like half Asian kids in the picture. Like Jim used to go, yeah, he would go. I have to I'll show you the video.
Oh wow, he just went the distance for that prank.
He did.
But there's one thing that intrigues me about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
And it's the character of Janet Van Dyne, because I really want to know, like, how did she survive in the quantum realm for 30 years?
Exactly. What the hell did she? But you know what it is? I think it's like, because if you remember, we're going into the mid-credit scene, which we get to in a bit.
Yeah.
Like they had something. They grabbed like a sample of it for healing.
Yeah.
Maybe like if she had some type of hunger or something, she was able to like live off of that.
Maybe it's possible.
Possibly, but
Yeah.
or whenever she got sick.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, yeah, she did age, but like,
Yeah.
if she got sick or something, she would use that healing factor.
Yeah. And also too, like, I wonder if time moves in the same fashion as the real world.
That's from what I hear, I think that's something that's up for discussion of how that's gonna lead to Avengers 4.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Because I'm thinking like maybe like her experience will tie into not only the quantum realm, but I think that since Ant-Man is trapped in the quantum realm because they all disappeared. And by the way, Thanos is a dick because how you gonna survive the quantum realm for 30 years? You finally come back to Earth and then you're vanished again. That's so. I'd be pissed if I was Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah.
But I think that it's going to connect somehow because since Ant-Man is trapped in a quantum realm, and if you remember Black Panther, he does have access to the spiritual plane.
Yeah.
I think somehow maybe Black Panther is going to work with Janet Van Dyne in that spiritual quantum, some kind of realm like in between.
Well, I've heard that the quantum realm does play a huge factor.
Yeah.
Into the Infinity War.
Yep.
I just don't know what. I still have to. I'm actually pretty much willing to spend the $25 and buy that graphic novel just to sit down and read it.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely explain it in full in the film. Like, but but yeah, I just want to see like how Ant-Man's gonna get out of the quantum realm and how he's gonna connect to beyond it.
Yeah.
If he's gonna find a way out.
There's
And
so many questions, and here's the
Yeah.
thing: like, unless they briefly mention something in Captain Marvel coming up, which is I don't know how because it's gonna take place in the '90s.
yeah,
It's like how we're gonna be in the limb till next May.
yeah, and since Captain
And
Marvel,
there's nothing coming out soon.
yeah, and since Captain Marvel takes place in the '90s, and if you recall that mid-credit scene in Infinity War, where
That was post credit.
a post-credit where Nick Fury and was it Maria
Yeah.
Hill, like they disappear, and but just before they vanish, he puts that
He
pages
yeah.
her. I think maybe Captain Marvel time travels from the '90s to the present day, and somehow can access the quantum or spiritual planes.
There's
somehow.
there's so many holes as of right now. We literally have to just sit there. We have to sit here and wait.
Yeah. And on top of all that, keep in mind Ghost and Bill Foster, they're still alive at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I hope we do see them again, because with Ghost powers,
Unless Thanos got to him.
you know what? I hope
We don't know that because all we know from Ant-Man and the Wasp from San Francisco
Yeah.
is them three. Another question is, and I actually tweeted this from my personal Twitter, how is the Netflix series, which is still part the Netflix Cloak and Dagger, Runaways,
yeah.
they're gonna fit? How is that gonna fit in? Because
It
Thanos
has-
had to get them too.
Yeah, it had to. Like, it would be like real. It would be way too convenient if the Netflix series was not touched at all.
It has to be touched.
Like,
I kinda-
although
that was tiny spoiler and for Luke Cage because I already told you that I didn't.
all right, I'll finish it. I'll finish it.
All right.
But I will say that I do hope that that Iron Fist stays gone
Oh,
forever.
Man. Oh, stop!
I-
Leave,
like-
leave
like-
that man alone.
I just hope that like they explain it like, oh well, we couldn't rescue everybody. We couldn't unsnap everybody. So
No, it's
Danny
alright.
Rand is gone
He'll be back.
forever.
He'll be back.
Sorry, no season 2 of Iron Fist. I would be fine with that.
Maybe Heroes for Hire. Like I always say, he's a better co-star. He's a better co-star than an actual star. But then again, they're changing, they're basically changing the whole Iron Fist personnel. So,
Yeah, which is good.
with the exception of Finn Jones and stuff, and he's coming along a little bit better. You know, so
Yeah, we'll
let's
see.
give it another chance.
Yeah.
Let's give it another chance, and then if it fails again, then it's like, all right, you need to. If y'all can do away with Inhumans, y'all can do away with Iron Fist.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Indeed. But
How can we not even talk on the school scene?
oh yeah.
When he's a freaking kid. When he's the size of a kid again. They just really kept fucking with him.
Oh yeah, like he kept like his device which controls
Yeah.
the size. It was malfunctioning.
Yeah.
So he like turned giant and then like shrunk into like a kid size. Yeah, when they were sneaking to get the miniature Ant-Man costume underneath his daughter's trophy.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, that was a cleverly done scene.
Yeah, another part, and then shout out to the party nerds for this one because he was like, "You can't even name a scene from an actual movie," and I didn't think about because once I'm there, I kind of just had a brain fart. Dude, when he all of a sudden just turned into, I'm gonna rewatch it just to spite you too.
Is he talking about Iron Fist?
Yes. But when Scott Lang just all of a sudden turned into Janet Van Dyne,
Oh yeah.
and he was just like talking, and next thing you know, like he's holding hands with Hank Pym. Then he comes to the door, then he's like Scott Lang again, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" Like, it just got weird. It was weird,
Yeah, that you know what?
very weird.
Yeah, that scene was funny, but it was also kind of sweet.
It was sweet and fit, but it still fit though.
Yeah, it still fit the tone of the film. That was cleverly done. Like it was like small, cleverly done gags here and there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that made the film very enjoyable. Like also I also like the cleverness of like having like the miniature cars, like basically
Oh, the Hot Wheels.
the Hot Wheels, which are actual cars, like by resizing them.
Yeah.
You know what? That would be so dope to have. Like if
Man,
like of course like you still have to pay for the actual car and then shrink it. Yeah,
that's all right though. Like
that would be still dope.
it would be.
Like just have like a jet ski, just go out the beach. Like oh here you go, just drive out there like Jay-Z, be memed.
Jesus Christ, they're going in our. We have gone a lot off script, a lot
Oh that's fine.
off time. It's our show. Fuck it.
Yeah, but yeah like anything else about Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed. Oh, the mid credit scene, dude. There was a collective gasp from the entire audience in the theater when we watched it.
Yeah, yeah.
This whole time I was like, okay, I know something's gonna happen. How are they gonna tie this in? How are they gonna tie this in? What are they gonna do? And then he goes into the quantum realm, gets what he needs. He's still trying to communicate with me. He's like, hello, anybody there? And it just dust, and all you can hear is like you literally would have thought that the screen was gonna get sucked down.
Wow.
From everybody just gasping at the same time.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't get that in my screening because I went like mid-afternoon.
Oh, so you saw? Yeah, we went at night.
But yeah, I can definitely see that, and which makes me think that maybe the quantum realm saved Ant-Man, because if he was out there, maybe he would.
Yeah, he probably would have got. He would have got too. Because remember, he wasn't an original Avenger. The only ones who survived were the original Avengers.
Yep, that's right. And in Avengers 4, man, any one of them can permanently die.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping for.
Listen, we got enough tears with Spider-Man. That's it.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Kids ready to cry. Man, we needed Ant-Man. We needed this.
Yeah.
For the kids, they needed this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ready to get to the Easter eggs?
Yes.
Okay. So here's some Easter eggs found. Very few Easter eggs that are found in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Courtesy of Top 10 Nerd. You should check out their YouTube channel. It's actually pretty dope.
All right.
Okay. So first off, let's start it off with it's them. So. Excuse me. Bill Foster yells out, "It's them!" when a bunch of ants actually started crawling into the room. When they had Hope, Scott, and Hank tied up.
Yep.
That's actually a reference. I think you would actually appreciate this. That's actually a reference to the 1954 sci-fi film Them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you actually notice at the end of the movie, Scott and Cassie are also seen watching the film at the end.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
there's that one. There was something else. Cassie later on becomes a superhero.
She does?
Yeah, she becomes the Stinger.
Oh. You know, because the way Cassie was like, and her dad were like, relating to each other. I was thinking, because she was like, oh, I want to be her. I want to be your helper, Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm thinking, is she a hero in the comics?
Later on, she does when
Okay.
she gets older.
That makes sense.
Okay, so the next one is actually Animal House. Okay. Now, Scott can actually be seen watching the 1978 film Animal House with John Belushi and a host of others.
Yep.
Hilarious movie, by the way. Okay, and the scene where Pinto, played by Tom Hughes, and Professor Jennings, played by Donald Sutherland, they were actually having a conversation about how there are galaxies within atoms. A galaxy within the atom, also known as the what?
Quantum realm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Another Easter egg is Jeffrey Ballard. Look, there's a character in the comics and an enemy to Phil. He was a character. Jeffrey Ballard was a character in the comics and an enemy to Bill Foster's Black Goliath. But in the movie, he was the FBI agent who was tipped off by Birch, helping to catch Hope and Hank.
Yep.
And in the comics, he's actually Centurion in the comics, a government security official who later becomes Miss Marvel's villain.
Okay.
All right. Next one, Tim Without Eric. Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric
Mm-hmm.
was actually on the boat when the scene in the San Francisco harbor where Scott Lang becomes Giant Man.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays the captain. He was making a noise. He was actually making the announcements and yells out that very weird scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually him. That was Tim Heidecker and Kevin Feige. He's a fan of Tim and Eric, and also Tim actually made a cameo that I one day eventually will sit down and watch.
Mm-hmm.
During my bad movie day, he made a cameo in the 2015 Fantastic Four.
Oh,
One
man.
day, bad movie day.
Good luck.
Okay. Now, the next one, which I made reference that I said I have one for, Egghead. Okay, Ghost's father was actually Dr. Elias Starr.
Okay.
In the comics, Dr. Elias Starr was a villain and an atomic scientist with an egg-shaped head, Egghead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that was from his initial run back in 1962, I believe.
Yeah.
Also, another one, Scott Lang walking around in his wardrobe was actually a reference to The Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Giant Man. Okay, another word. Speaking of Giant Man,
Mm-hmm.
Hank Pym, Bill Foster have also used the Giant Man alias in the comics, as you know. Hence the argument of, I grew to 21 inches, 60, not 21 inches, 60. I grew to 21 feet, 68 feet.
No.
When they're having their little dick measuring contest,
Yeah.
which Hope subliminally basically called it that.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, the next one is Baba Yaga. Okay. Kurt actually mentions Baba Yaga in the film. Baba Yaga is a Slavic folklore, which is a supernatural being who is deformed, who also originally appeared in the comics in Captain Britain in the 80s, who is also the goddess of earth, witchcraft, and misfortune.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a scene like where was it Luis, Michael Pena's character?
Yeah.
They're all captured by Sonny Birch and his henchmen, and then
Yeah.
like Ghost appears out of nowhere. It's like to get the information. It's like wait, he's in the jungle or he's in the forest,
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh no, Baba Yaga, oh my
Exactly,
god.
yeah. So and also now here's one that's probably gonna hit you. Okay, here's actually an Easter egg. My last Easter egg about the quantum realm. Okay, so we won't be able to see this until it comes out on DVD,
Okay.
on Blu-ray or digital, and you have to like freeze frame it.
Okay.
But you can actually see Thanos' face in the quantum realm.
Really?
Yeah, if you can see like the purple eyes in the background while Scott was there. It was either Scott or Hank, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But some others actually believe that it's Dormammu's face.
Oh, because Dormammu exists in a realm where time doesn't exist, and that
Which could be
Okay.
how Janice survived for 30 years and still was like okay.
yeah.
Time didn't exist.
And if you remember in Infinity War, Doctor Strange saw 14 million possible outcomes, and he saw one in which they will win. Maybe that has something to do with Dormammu.
Exactly.
Okay.
So many.
Yo, bring us Avengers 4 right
Yo,
now,
for real.
son. I mean, Captain Marvel is cool, but yo, give us what we need,
We
man.
got until May. We got until May.
Man. Yo.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got as well. Oh, and real quick with the Baba Yaga thing, it also made me think of John Wick because that's what they call John Wick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard of Baba Yaga?
I only read his comic actually that I bought like a long time ago.
Oh, who's?
John Wick's.
Oh, really? Yeah. Have you seen the movie yet?
I started to watch it at a bad time. Fell asleep.
Gotta do it again, man.
I do. No, I do plan on it.
Yeah, watch 1 and 2 back to back, and
Yeah,
part 3's
part
coming
three's
out
coming out too.
next year.
All right, I'll definitely watch it in time.
Fire.
So and all that.
Yes. The Holy Ghost of action movies.
Yeah, but that's
yes.
all I got. Fortunately I did not. Well, actually, did you enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp? Let us know. Email us at codexprimepodcast@gmail.com. Also, all the social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes with a 5-star review.
Yep.
Question of the week: I didn't post it because I just got caught up with so much stuff over the weekend. So I don't even have one.
Question of the week. Let's see.
Go through my archives of some older ones.
Maybe something about underrated Marvel character or
Boom. There you go. Who was your favorite who do you think is the most underrated Marvel character? Oh. Oh, man, this is a good one.
Yeah.
It's about time you hit me with one. Actually, you got me saying, for once.
Yeah, man. Maybe Slapstick?
Oh, I don't even think he's gonna be in the MCU.
What?
Yeah, I don't see. Probably, I would say. I just had it in the tip of my tongue and I already forgot it. Damn.
Wait, Ghost Rider's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yeah.
Okay.
An underrated character. Fuck.
Squirrel Girl?
She does defeat Thanos.
What?
Yeah. Squirrel Girl beats Thanos.
Where? What comic?
He said, Nick Thomas says Iron Fist mofos.
Oh, Iron Fist. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who that person is. Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, you do. Nah. Damn. This is a hard one.
It is.
You hit me hard with this one.
Yeah, that's something to think about. Like, all I can think about is Howard the Duck.
I hope he gets something, and it has to be voiced by Seth Green.
But it has to be good, first of all.
Yeah.
Because we all remember or choose not to remember the 80s movie produced by George Lucas.
Really?
Yes.
Now I have to watch it again.
Oh, it's noteworthy for all the wrong
Oh my
reasons.
God, I had it in my head. I just had it on the tip of my tongue and already forgot it.
It's really hard to say. Like, is it a character from X-Men? Spider-Man?
Omega Red.
That's a good one. Omega Red, yeah.
I need to see him in a movie done right.
Yeah.
Damn, we need this merger. Hurry up. Or Mr. Sinister.
Yep. Mr. Sinister could work as well. But yeah, but more so Omega Red.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll go with that one.
maybe Omega Red could be the next villain in the next Deadpool movie.
That would be the only way he would be appreciated.
Yeah, Deadpool and Cable versus Omega Red.
That would
Boom.
be fire.
Right there.
That would be fire. With Terry Crews playing Bishop. Listen, they did away with Terry Crews in Deadpool 2. So there's hope.
You know what they could?
And they could just make a gag out of it. Like, who are you, Bishop? You look so familiar.
What, we all look alike?
Something like that. Yo, boom. There we go. Let's make this work.
Yeah, I'm all for it. There you go.
All right. So that's all we got. Anything you need to add?
Tune in next week where we will be talking about Luke Cage season 2.
Fire.
I'll
Can't wait for that talk. Mm-hmm. Also, this weekend I will be DJing at the I want to say the 4th annual. But yeah, I'll be DJing at the Will Blackman football camp Saturday and Sunday. I'll be spending there all day, both those days. So
Right on.
I think there's still room for registration, especially for the Saturday edition where it's free, and then the Sunday edition was for high school students. If you have a high school football player who has so much potential, there's going to be college scouts and pro counselors there to work with your student. Definitely worth it. And there's actually going to be some players as staff with some NFL, with some professional experience and all. So it's going to be a joint venture with Kyle Rowley and my friend Will Blackman. Looking forward to that. And I just look forward to it. And for Saturday, it's going to be free. It's a free event. So just come through, say what's up, check out the event. It's a fun time to be had.
Oh yeah, right on. So yeah, man, check that out, and also check us out next week on Facebook Live on next Thursday, same time, same channel. Luke Cage season 2 coming at you, and some other stuff. So as always, thank you so much for watching and listening, and as always, we will catch you on the flip. Peace out, nerds.
Later.